Do you want to form a trust and you don't know how trust actually gets to be formed? Now, there are two ways you can form a trust. There's a trust, what we call a living trust. Some call it intervivus trust. This is a trust that you can actually form when you're still alive. How do you go about forming that particular trust? You form that trust by engaging people like myself, where we actually draft what you call trust instrument. Some people call it a trust deed. Okay, once you stipulate some of the things that you want it to be in the trust, it could be how you're going to, the trustees should consider in distributions of the wealth within the trust to the beneficiaries. It could be about whether the beneficiaries can utilize some of the trust assets, things like family homes and holiday homes, cars within the trust, furnitures, what is the relationship between the beneficiaries and that particular trust. So you can put all those. You can actually even put values and principles on how they should govern the family wealth. It gets so deep, and especially when you're concerned about how do you protect this particular wealth of the family, because it's very important. If you work so much hard you want to make sure that this money can actually be utilized to actually preserve and look after these generations and even the next great generation if possible, right? That's very important. So you can actually put all these values within and your wishes within the trust deed, provided that obviously they're not illegal and they're not unconstitutional. So that is very, very important. Okay, that's why you should consider that and engaging experts. Now, then once you're done with that, you're happy with the trust instrument, you're like, listen, Shilly boy, I'm good. I rubber stamp it. What next? Then we then take that particular trust instrument, the trust deed in some cases, as they call it, and then you sign it off, and then together with the supporting documents, we then submit to the Master of the High Court and the Department of Justice. Then once the Master has approved and approved those people that have been nominated to act as trustees, they issue what you call letter of authority. Letter of authority is sort of a license, if I may use that, which grants those who are appointed as trustees to actually go ahead and then start running that particular trust. Of course, then you need to open a bank account and do that initial donation as per the trust deed, and then you transfer that particular initial donation. Make sure that after you did that, you actually also notify SARS that if there was this initial donation by ensuring that you submitted declaration of donation forms as per the SARS guidelines. And then once that is done, you obviously then register the trust with what you call SARS, and then that's compliant. Then you can start creating wealth for the families, right? You can start buying properties underneath the trust. Some people have got companies that are owned by trust. And then you can just create this wealth depending on how you go about creating wealth. Okay, so now what other option do you have? Some people then decide, listen, Shilly boy, I just want to own these assets when I'm still alive. I don't have enough to create this trust when I'm still alive. I'm worried about the administration costs and all those type of things. I'll however, wants to create a trust upon my death so that it can look after my beneficiary, whether they're minors or they're, I don't want to create what you call fragmented assets. Therefore, I don't want one person owning all these assets. I just want them to be consolidated in a trust. Therefore, I'll form what you call a testamentary trust. That's the trust that will take shape upon your death, being guided by a valid will. So you ensure that that particular will that you leave behind is actually valid. Should it not be valid, that trust is not going to come into realization. That's a very disadvantage of actually wanting to form what you call testamentary trust. So be careful of that. And it's going to follow the same process. That will is going to be taken to the master, and then the master will then definitely then ensure that the trust is formed, what you call testamentary trust. So that is typically how you can go about forming a trust. Okay, if you need any form of guidance, help, you're more than welcome to reach out to us. Send the details are on my profile. You're more than welcome to reach out to me and my team. We can definitely help you and your family about estate planning. Good luck.